Today guys, we are going over what I've been up to in lockdown. Obviously, the whole country at the moment is placed under lockdown, and I'm pretty sure it is almost the same for a lot of countries across the world right now. With that being the case, I am going to revisit one of my first ever videos, which is my top 5 habits to build during lockdown, I think it was. And today I'm almost going to revisit that with talking about some of the habits I've been building and doing during this lockdown. All I really hope for in this video is that it helps you guys in some sort of way, whether it improves your mental clarity or health, or whether it even gives you an idea or something to focus on for the next few weeks or so whilst we're still in lockdown. However guys, before I jump into my lockdown kind of things I've been doing, let's just clear one thing up. When the first ever lockdown came into play, I said to myself I was going to make the most out of this lockdown. Obviously since then I'd like to say, done quite a fair few things that will hopefully benefit me in the future. Alongside that, understood myself a lot more. However, I want to kind of relate to you guys when I say this. That is not to say there have not been days where I have laid in bed all day, where I have had a lazy day, a very unproductive day, a day of sweating it out on COD, on the Xbox, eat a load of shit food, because that happens. But whenever I do any of that, you know, and that does happen more often than a lot of people would think, you know, on social media these days, it is very much so perceived that everybody lives this perfect life, and really nobody does. Everybody struggles with stuff. It doesn't matter what it is, everybody has struggles in life. You know, the one way to go about trying to fix that, guys, is build new habits, you know. Really strive towards something that you personally want and not what other people want from you. Something that you genuinely enjoy and something that you want to go ahead and do every single day. Even when times get tough, you got to remember that you are only ever working at 40% of your actual capacity, and you can smash through that 40% if you really have the passion and drive to do so. These are just habits that I personally found helped me, and if you want to try them out for yourselves and see how they work for you, that would probably be a good idea. Diving into number 1 though guys, we have exercising twice a day. That's free. Diving into number 1 though guys, we have exercising twice a day. Now obviously guys, this is a fitness channel and I, you know, orientate my life around fitness a lot. However, that does not mean that training twice a day is something that even I can do, because it is not. I mean, I have one 45-minute session outside, so that could be anything from walking to jogging to stretching to weightlifting to doing something, anything involves me getting outside 45 minutes and doing something. Most of the time it's walking my dog. Then I also make sure I have an actual training session, whether that be lifting weights, you know, actually doing stretches for any, you know, tight muscles I may have, cardio, that I perform inside. I find doing this really helps my mental clarity, you know. It's something that really allows me to focus on something when I'm outside and make sure I'm taking in everything I can from the outside world, but also allow me to come back inside and keep up my fitness levels as well as my activity levels, because I found a lot of the time I'm sat down and I want to make sure that I get more active. You guys might want to try this out, but you may not want to do 45 minutes. Simple, reduce it to 30 minutes. And maybe if you want to increase it, feel free to go ahead and increase it using your own intuition to do so. Moving into number 2 guys, it is learning and improving. Obviously, free time, opportunity, you can learn about all sorts of different things. Guys, something I personally did was write a list of things that I actually enjoyed doing. With that list, I looked at the things that I feel like I would like to learn more about. With that said, I went on to topics and learned a lot more about them, whether it was listening to podcasts, reading books, finding research, or even just implementing new habits within that sort of area that has allowed me to engage more with it and therefore learn more alongside it, if that makes sense. Obviously guys, your brain loves knowledge. If you start to learn something new every sort of week or so, no, it doesn't have to be massive. If it's just something new that you didn't know before, you're going to feel better in yourself because you are learning something. And sort of doing that also allows you to build confidence in yourself and get past any sort of mental blockages you do find you have. Moving into number 3 guys, something I've been doing ever since this lockdown started was trying new things, try to figure out what it was I actually enjoyed. Now let's be honest, this is a great example. You know, I'm currently doing YouTube. It's something I do definitely enjoy, and it was something completely new to me. It's something I tried and I have actually found I enjoyed. However, it took me a long time to actually get to the point of actually trying YouTube. I guess the idea behind this one is, guys, if you don't currently do something you enjoy doing, whether it's a hobby or work that you're currently doing, I definitely recommend looking into what your sort of passion is and try different things in order to make sure that you can find what it is you do enjoy. And guys, if finding your passion or something along those lines is something you have struggled with, I have a video which I'll put on screen there. In this video I talk about how I went about finding my passion and a few tips that may be able to help you. I'll put a link down below in the description, and I think there'll be one on screen up there somewhere as well. And with that said guys, number 4 is a habit I picked up very recently, but it's actually something I really do enjoy, and it's strange because I've never been the kind of guy to do this, and that is reading. I'm not just talking listening to an audiobook, because that is something I started, but I started to realise that the information would never really be taken in, and I genuinely don't feel like there is a feeling like actually reading a hard copy book, like picking up a book and reading it. And I think this is a habit that everybody should be doing. This is one I put into my morning routine and my nighttime routine. You know, before I go to bed and when I wake up, first thing I do in the morning is down a pint of water and smash in a few pages of the book. The current book I'm reading at the moment, I'll put up screen there. It is the 21 Laws of Leadership, and really good book. I didn't realise it was a good book, but it actually is, and it's definitely making an impact on the way I perceive life at the moment. There are numerous benefits to reading books, and one that I'm finding at the moment is definitely my sleep. You know, I've been sleeping a lot better, and I don't know if it's because I'm reading before I go to bed, and obviously that is recommended, but I'm sleeping a lot better and I'm thinking a lot more clearer as well. On a serious note guys, I do recommend that you start reading if you're somebody who doesn't currently read. I actually think it could be life-changing for you. Number 5 guys, it's a little bit cringy, but it's true. I find with a lot more free time and, you know, nothing to really do, in between spells when, you know, I've had a bad day, you know, or I've woken up and broke my morning routine, you know, and I start playing the Xbox, or I just do stuff that isn't really, you know, considerably productive. I sit there with a pen and paper and I think to myself and I reflect on what I've been doing, and I try to understand what caused me to end up doing that, why I would do that, why it was such a bad thing to do, because most of the time it's not, it's just a bit of a break. And also understanding myself more, trying to understand what drives me, what motivates me, what gets me down, why things get me down, and what I do in order to get over them. There's a challenge I'm currently doing guys, which I would highly recommend getting involved with. It's called 75 Hard, and I know that sounds a little bit strange, but it's it is a challenge set by Andy Frisella. I don't know if you've heard of him. I'll put a picture on the screen now. It's a mental toughness challenge that I am finding very enjoyable. For me, it forced me to think about why I am so good at procrastinating. Like, I will sit there and I'll think about something all day, but I won't do it because I just get lazy. I'll either watch Netflix, I'll play the Xbox, and then eventually I'll end up getting up and I'll go and do it. But I procrastinate, and this challenge made me realise that, and so that is something I'm going to smash in and make sure I knock on the head in the future. This Andy Frisella has a podcast about a 75 hard challenge. I'll link it down below. I highly recommend. In summary then guys, those are 5 things I've been doing during lockdown to keep myself on top of myself, which sounds a bit weird. Guys, go leave a comment, tell me what is the number 1 habit you have developed over this kind of lockdown period and what it has taught you. I'd love to know. I hope this video helped some of you guys out, or at least sparked some sort of ideas for you. With that said though guys, check out my other videos on screen now. I hope you all have a sick weekend, and until next time, as always, peace.